leverage ratio is uh, is something, or leveraging or the borrowing is something that helps a business to earn more return to the shareholders. Ultimately, we all understand it very clearly that a company comes into existence by virtue of the capital put in by the shareholders. And that is the reason all companies are across the globe are owned by the shareholders. And that is why the companies have to work for the interest of the shareholders. So, and we discussed that leveraging or the borrowing helps generate more return for the shareholders, because the project in which we invest money gives us a return of, let's say, 15%. Money that we borrow for funding that project comes at a cost of 10%. So the cost is 10%, return is 15%. So the difference of 5% accrues for the benefit of the shareholders. So that is the reason as to why people go for borrowing. But we also discussed and very clearly understood that borrowing does help the shareholders get more return, but it does not mean a company can do borrowing blindly. No, no company on this earth can resort to borrowing without application of mind. If you would think about it, you would notice there have been number of companies in India as well, where companies did excessive borrowing, and as a result of those excessive borrowing, these companies became insolvent, as much as the management of these companies were changed. Say for example, you had a company called SR Steel in this country, a major steel producing company, and this company went for excessive borrowing, could not service the debt. As a result of this, company went to NCLT, that is National Company Law Tribunal, and this company now has changed the management. It is no longer with the erstwhile owners of this company, that is Ruiyas. Now this company is part of ArcelorMittal group, and Nippon Steel and ArcelorMittal. So it's joint venture of ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel. So now SR Steel has become a company which is owned by AMNS, ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel. Same is the case with a company called Ruchi Soya in India. Excessive borrowing, became bankrupt. Now company is no longer with the existing management. It has changed the management and now it is with the Patanjali. Same is the case with the Alok Industries, company that erstwhile belonged to somebody, now it belongs to a Reliance Group. Same is the case with another company called Bhushan Steel. Bhushan Steel was a company, again a steel company, excessive borrowing, could not service it. As a result of that, the company has changed the management and now this company has become part of the Tata Steel. So leveraging is good, but it has to be used judiciously. It has to be used judiciously. And I'm sure you must be wondering as to what is the meaning of judiciously. The meaning of judiciously is a company should borrow only as much as its EBITDA can service. EBITDA, earning before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. EBITDA is the cash operating profit. Company should borrow as much as the EBITDA can service. That means when you borrow, you have to pay interest. For paying interest, you need cash. When you borrow, you have to repay the loan. For repaying the loan, you need cash. So meaning what? Meaning you should borrow after taking into account, after convincing yourself that EBITDA, the cash profit generated from your operations, is good enough to service the debt, that is pay the interest and also repay the loan. Now, how to figure out as to how is the leveraging of a company, how is the borrowing of a company? So there are two ratios that we calculate for figuring out the leveraging. Now this is also known as solvency ratio. It is also known as solvency ratio. So how do we calculate it? Number one is known as net gearing ratio. So net gearing ratio would mean net debt, and net debt would mean the the long-term borrowing plus the short-term borrowing minus the marketable securities and the cash balance with the company. So that is your net debt divided by the shareholders equity. And what is shareholders equity? It is the same number that you use for the purpose of calculating return on equity. So there is no difference. Shareholders equity is same here and in the ratio of return on equity. Net debt, it means your long-term borrowing and your short-term borrowing minus the marketable securities and the cash balance with the company. That's your net debt. Now please remember friends, when we are discussing it, this is also known as debt equity ratio. Now please also understand, across the globe different companies calculate this debt equity ratio in different ways. So when I say different ways, what does it mean? It means like in our company, we would use the long-term borrowing as well as the short-term borrowing for calculating the figure of net debt. But there are companies across the globe, they would use only the long-term borrowing. They will not take the short-term borrowing into account. Likewise, there are companies in this across the globe who would use only the long-term debt minus the marketable securities and cash in bank. Some companies will use long-term debt without minusing the marketable securities and the cash and bank balance. That means they will not use the net debt, they will simply use the debt. I'm sharing this information with you at an additional input so that you are aware that yes, this ratio can also be calculated differently. So that's your number one, and that's your your debt equity ratio. Then you also calculate the net debt to EBITDA ratio. Net debt to EBITDA ratio. Net debt definition is same as in the first ratio. Current EBITDA is your earning before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. So I'm sure you would remember on the very first day we discussed what is EBITDA. EBITDA is the operating income. EBITDA is the current operating income. EBITDA is the current operating income plus depreciation and amortization, and so that is your EBITDA. That is your EBITDA. So we also calculate this ratio, net debt to EBITDA, net debt divided by current EBITDA. So this gives us an idea as to how much EBITDA we have for taking care of the debt. I am sure you can understand this ratio. Bigger this ratio, serious it is for the company. So if the net debt is high and current EBITDA is low, bad situation. But net debt is high, current EBITDA is even higher than the net debt, it is a good situation. So this is how you would analyze and interpret these ratios. That is your financial leverage through the solvency ratio. Right. So before we move to the next one, I can take any question that any one of you may have.
Sir, this bank